How the bonus system works. Conversations about mining. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in today's video we are going to answer a viewer's question who left a question on our onboarding video. And Sandgroper wants to know how the pay structure works, so the metering, bonuses per shift, all shifts for the month, how does it all work? So I think the easiest way to explain this is to go back to the start when I first started and see how it progressed over the years, because where it is at the moment, all the companies have got their own really individual system that they use, that they make up of a varying amount of different parts. But like I said, if we go back to when I first started, it was straight meterage and tonnage rate. So if you are working on the production mining side of things, in the stopes, bogging things out, then it would be a straight tonnage. So you'd get paid for however many tons you moved for the pay period, which was normally a fortnight. The first job that I was on, it was a week pay period, so you get your pay sheets, which they'd call grizzle sheets. Yes, they'd call the sheet that you'd get with the money that you were supposed to make for your pay cycle a grizzle sheet. Took me a few months to work out why they called them grizzle sheets, because everybody grizzled when they got them, because it was never enough. But yeah, so if you are working with the jumbo on the development side of things, the jumbo would get paid their meterage rate, which would be the 100% of the contract, and then the bogger operator would get paid a percentage, charge up would get paid a percentage, the nipper would get paid a percentage, service crew would get paid a percentage. Everybody would get paid a percentage off that. The first job that I was in, it was a 100% contract for the jumbo operator, 80% for the bogger operators, 60% for the charge up guys, and it was 40% for the truck drivers and 30% for the nippers. And then I moved on to a few other jobs, and the percentages moved around a bit. By the time I made it to the bogger, it wasn't 80% on the bogger. The first bogger job that I got, percentage wise, was only 60%, and then they moved down to 50%. And then around the early 2000s, the mines department decided that it probably wasn't a good idea to have everybody in such a dangerous job relying totally on what they did to get paid. So that's when they started moving in this base rate system. So they basically said to all the mining companies, we don't like the way you structured your pay. We feel that at least half of it needs to be a base rate and half of it can be production. And then from there, over the years, it's changed again. So the new production, the way it works is that you'll have a base rate, and then there'll be meters and tons on top of that, but there'll also be KPIs for safety, and there'll be other bonuses that are thrown in for doing stuff around site with your KPIs and all that sort of stuff. And the other big thing that they do now is, which I'm not a big fan of, is damage. A lot of companies will take money off your bonuses for damage that's done around the place that they feel is, deliberate and not wear and tear. It's just because you've made a silly decision and you've done something stupid. So just be aware that the pay structures can go like that. And the other thing that can happen too is that with a really huge price, like the gold price at the moment, it's not unusual for companies to pay one-off bonuses. Now, the last time I saw one-off bonuses was when the nickel price went crazy in 2006 and 2007. A lot of people can't remember that until I tell them that that's that time period where Clive Palmer bought everybody on his nickel mine a car. And then, you can start to think that a lot of other nickel mines were doing the same thing. There was a big nickel mine around Kalgoorlie, and they were paying huge one-off bonuses just to maintain their workforce. And so, it is what it is with the bonuses. There should be a lot of money around at the moment with a really high price. But thanks for the question. It's not like it was when I first started, where the bonuses were all the money that you'd make, and if you didn't do anything, you didn't get paid. It's a lot different now. The mines department made them restructure those bonuses, and like I said, now it's more. It does take into account the amount of tons and meters, but it's also about safety a lot now. And damage. And that's the big thing. So you just need to, when you get onboarded into your job, just make sure you understand completely what the bonus structure is. It's not a big component of it anymore. It wasn't like it was when I first started. The majority of people will be on a fairly sizable base rate and with a small bonus on top, because that's just the way the industry is gone now. So I hope that answers your question. It's interesting to see how they do it, but the big thing that I'd be looking for at the moment is the one-off signing bonuses and retention bonuses and all that sort of stuff that are going to happen, because that's what happens with a really strong price in one of the metals when everybody's trying to chase the labour. And so, yeah, so if you get yourself into a good mine site that's paying those one-off bonuses moving forward, you'll probably make yourself a hell of a lot of money. But I hope that answers your question, and if you've got any more questions that you'd like answered, please send them through. We always like a question. And if you could share the video around and like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.